CMC is many things all in one. For a person who comes for treatment, he might see this as a hospital. For somebody who comes for training, it's a college. Someone who is in the periphery, in the villages, sees it as people who are coming and teaching and training various things. It's a community of people living together, worshipping together, serving together.
Dr. George Chandy starts his day by visiting the low-cost effective care unit.
Originally, the concept was that the poor should be right at the heart of our hospital. And in order to do that, we created a ward where the people from the slums, the poor people of Vellore town, can come and get effective treatment at a low or no cost whatsoever.
The work of the low-cost effective care unit is driven by a committed and caring team and led by a doctor of formidable passion.
How are you? Sarah Bhattacharjee, one of the very special people. We call her the Mother Teresa of CMC, of Vellore.
We've learned many things working with poor people, that it's not enough to provide a free service. The service has to be something that poor people feel is theirs. We try to keep our facilities very basic. So, for example, we don't have mattresses on our beds. These people anyway sleep on the floor. But as doctors, we can't work on the floor. So we have our beds.
In little over 20 years, CMC's hematology department has developed into a world leader in research and excellence.
Today we have a bone marrow harvest for a kid called Saurabh, and he has thalassemia. Fortunately for Saurabh, his brother is fully matching, and we are going to be taking in his brother today and harvest enough of stem cells to do a transplant. And if the transplant is successful, Saurabh won't need transfusions anymore. In fact, after a year, he'll be off all immunosuppression and he can go to school and live a normal life. So that's the marrow which is starting to come up into the syringe. And you can see it looks just like blood. An average transplant at our center will cost about $15,000 US. Additionally, we are transplanting patients from foreign countries at a package deal of $50,000. I may, in fact, make a profit of about $30,000, which will subsidize the cost of a patient in India who cannot afford.
The decision regarding who gets priority is based on the need, not on the ability to pay.
The morning is also the time for CMC to reach out to the communities surrounding Vellore. From the Department of Community Health and Development, CHAD, a mobile clinic is heading out into the surrounding countryside with doctors, nurses, and community health aides. A new challenge is to provide palliative care for the patients and families of the very poor.
We're going on a home visit to see Venkateshan. Venkateshan is a 21-year-old man with advanced cancer who lives with his father and his two younger sisters.
The palliative care team focus their support for the young man and his family on the medical, the practical, and the spiritual.
Since it's the acute pain episodes that are unbearable, we have taught his caregivers, that's his sister and his aunt, to give pain injections at home. Sometimes what patients tell us is that, we are the really poor of society. Nobody cares much about us. So when you all come all the way from CMC to help us, it just means so much to us because nobody has ever done that before.
Unlike the palliative care visit, the arrival of the CHAD mobile clinic in a village is an eagerly awaited event. While the nurses set up the mothers and babies clinic, the doctors examine older patients.
She's very pale, as you can see. Amma naak meete. She's basically anemic, and so she's having problems because of that. She won't come there, so we have to come to her to give her medicines.
Wherever possible, the mobile clinic integrates educational programs to engage communities with health issues. The result has been a dramatic improvement in the overall health of villages. By mid-morning, the main hospital is in full swing. Doctors in cardiology are halfway through the 8 procedures slated for the morning. The new MRI facility is in constant demand. And in the outpatients clinics, inoculations are evoking the same response from children the world over.
CMC has been my dream place. I always wanted to be in CMC.
Once you go through CMC, you come out, people look at you like, CMC graduate. So you have that, I think it's the special college.
In the Nurses' College, morning lectures for the first-year students are underway.
When you gave the injection and when you received the injection.
For senior students, hands-on training in the hospital's maternity wards is a reminder of CMC's founder, Ida Scudder's vision for the hospital as a maternity training centre.
The way the faculty and the staff mentor us. It's not just the clinics in hospital where they come and take the rounds with the patient. It helps to build that kind of trust to guide us in times of difficulty as far as studies, at the same time friendships, any doubts in my mind, a lot of spiritual aspects.
There is always this challenge to sacrifice, willingness to give of yourself rather than just become big doctors. You are here being trained specifically because there's a huge need in the nation. Spirit of sacrifice, spirit of service is always emphasized, along with being of the best quality.
Once a month, a community nurse from Chad joins with a local health aide to visit the sick and needy in each village under her care.
Because she lives in the village, she knows each and every family. When I comes for the clinic, she will inform me about that, and we both will plan together and we will make the visits.
The health aide brings an intimate knowledge of the villages and ensures that CMC effectively services the needs of the rural poor who surround Vellore.
Here we have Sumitra. Sumitra is a mother who delivered 21 days back. I will be teaching them about the newborn care, like how they have to take care of this newborn baby and how she has to take care of herself during this time after her delivery.
In the main hospital, the afternoon's activities are getting underway.
Hello, ma'am.
And as always, the endless queues of patients needing help. This afternoon, Dr. George Chandy is scheduled to journey out into the countryside for a regular visit to RUSA, the Rural Unit for Health and Social Affairs.
If India has to develop in the health area, the way to do it is to help them develop economically, socially, culturally, educationally. And over the last 30 years, we have found that this actually works. Give them a goat, give them a bullock, help them to, for example, become tailors.
Weaving is a very traditional skill many of the people have. RUSA's role is identify people with the skill and help them to set up a unit.
Any of these things helps them to develop economically, and therefore the health also improves. CMC has its basis, its foundation in the Christian commitment to service. God guides all that we do, and we are doing this for the King, the Master.
Inside here, we have Saurabh. Saurabh is the little boy who's receiving the marrow that we harvested this morning. And the marrow is going like a blood transfusion. The miracle of transplantation is that those cells will find their way to the bone marrow, almost like the way a letter goes to the person to whom it's intended to be sent. If all goes well, the graft comes in, he'll be out of here in 3 weeks' time.
India is changing considerably. whole lot of new hospitals are coming up, the corporate hospitals, multinationals are coming up. These hospitals will attract the paying patients. The challenge is that if the paying patients do not come to CMC, we will not be able to raise funds to care for the poor and the needy. Therefore, we have to provide adequate facilities, we have to be excellent in all that we do, our quality should be excellent, so that patients who can pay will continue to come and find this as a haven for high quality, compassionate care. And the funds that we raise from that will go for the care of the poor and the needy.
CMC's work amongst India's poor and disadvantaged is supported by a much valued network of organizations around the world, the Friends of Vellore. If you would like to make a donation or become involved in this practical expression of Christian faith, please contact your local Friends of Vellore representative via the website. CMC is also always looking to develop relationships with medical professionals and institutions around the world. For further information regarding the Christian Medical College, visit their website or contact the Directorate by email.